guys, welcome again. I'm Ben Ray here at Gordon College. We're actually in the Frost lobby here. Many of you guys have been here and you came to visit, you checked in. This is kind of where you started your visit, so probably familiar territory for you all. But today I'm actually with Josh Wymore, who does many things on campus. One of the things he does is that he kind of directs the orientation week, and so that's why I asked him here to talk about. So he's going to be sharing a little bit about orientation week, what's going to be leading up to it, and what you actually do during that week. But to get us started, why don't you tell us where you're from, how long you've been at Gordon, and you and your wife actually live in one of the residence halls here, so maybe a little bit about that as well.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Josh Wymore. I'm the Director of Orientation and Student Activities. This is my second year at Gordon. I'm from Central Texas, so the New England is a new thing for me, and I'm loving it. It's really great. My wife and I will be in Lewis this next year, which is one of the small HUD residence halls located right next to the chapel and lane, so we're pretty excited about that. It's a really great residence hall. Second year here, loved it.
That's awesome. Well, tell us a little bit more. What exactly is orientation week? Like, what's its purpose, and what do you do? What's your kind of role in making that happen?
Yeah. So orientation is a 5-day program that's basically designed around getting you guys adjusted to Gordon and making really important connections. So connections with peers, connections with people who are a few years ahead of you, connections with faculty members and programs, and with the local area. Basically, how do we get you plugged in here so that you can succeed and thrive at Gordon? So to do that, we do a lot of different things. We'll have different workshops on time management, dealing with stress, helping you figure out what your professors expect of you, how to work with them, how to plug into your major, and also do some social things like hanging out with a crew of about 8 to 10 other incoming students. You'll go to a faculty member's house for dessert. We'll take everybody into Boston. You'll get to explore the area. So yeah, it's a lot of things we pack into 5 days.
That's awesome. And now I know that there's a separate one for transfers too. It runs at the same time. Tell me a little bit more about that, because obviously transfers are coming with different life experiences.
Sure. Yeah, so we don't want to just throw the transfers in with everyone else, because you've been to college once before, and so you don't need the same sorts of information, but you still need to make really important connections with your peers, and you still need to get to know your faculty members and things like that. So so we have a sort of separate but equal Boston Day where they get to go together and explore the area, with other people who are a little bit older. And then we also have like some different dessert nights and different social activities that take place throughout the time. So.
That's great. Now, I know a lot of the students out there are really amped up about Gordon. Yeah. They're really excited to get here and to really be college students. So what are some things that are going to be happening this summer that maybe will get them ready for orientation, and when is that going to happen?
Yeah, so orientation's great, but it doesn't start until August 24th, so it's a long way away. But the great news is that starting June 1st, you can log on to GC 101 if you're a new student, a first-year student, or GC 201 if you're a transfer student. And basically, it's a 10-week online pre-orientation orientation course that has all kinds of information to help you begin to imagine yourself at Gordon, and also walk you through a lot of the transitions you need to do before you get here. So, thinking about how do you say goodbye to your friends back home and make new connections here. What are all the paperwork things you need to take care of here before you get here? All the stuff that can be really confusing and overwhelming, we try and walk you through that. But there are also some really cool things on there. So there's information about the local area, about things you can do on campus. There's a new video every week that comes up that has interviews with faculty or staff members, kind of like these, letting you know about what you can expect at Gordon. So it's pretty cool things. Discussion boards to ask those questions that have been burning on your mind and get to know other students as well. Starting June 1st, that goes, and that's a 10-week program that basically runs all the way up until orientation. You can get started on that in just really soon.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think one of the things that's really resonated with me, kind of what you were saying about 101, 201, and then also orientation, because at Gordon really, I feel like uniquely cares about the students. They're not just here to, they don't just throw them in and say, okay, we've already got you here, see you in 4 years, but they really want to walk with the students and make sure that they're being all who God has created them to be. And just want to thank you for your role in that here at Gordon. So there you guys go, Josh Wymore. And just, I'm going to throw his email address up there, or maybe the orientation email address up there, so you guys can take a look at that. And if you have any questions, as always, I'm here, Josh is here, so please be in touch. Thanks, guys, so much.
Take care.